Hi, my name is Rachel. Welcome back to another YouTube video. Competition day is almost here, literally only 3 more weeks to go. So the plan for all of what counts the most, which is the top singles, is last week I actually hit a 1 rep max on squat. It wasn't RP 10 or anything even close to it, but I am pulling back on squats a little bit. Probably gonna go 2.5 to 5 kg underneath what I did last week. So not quite linear periodization for the entire peaking block for that. Bench going up 2.5 kg to 165 pounds. And then deadlift, I'm gonna take a huge jump, 10 kg up to 353 pounds. So really bringing it on deadlifts this week, and then probably gonna pull back on deadlifts the following week. But really excited. Let's hop right into the video. And I can always count on this girl right here, Pretzel, to be here with me every single time I stretch and literally everywhere I go, but my cat's hit or miss. Today he decided he didn't want to join us. Because it's summer, I have the luxury of getting to stretch every single day before my workouts. This is my primary squat, so it's on the Saturday, so I always get to do it anyways. Pretzel, say hi to the YouTubes. Aww.
And this is where the little Mr. Kitty Man was while we were stretching.
So before I get into my weigh-in day and my actual competition day recap, I did want to tie up some loose ends just because I left this channel hanging literally at the beginning of my peaking block, so I didn't even get to talk about how my peaking block went. And overall, my peaking block went really well. I did have one major hiccup that did affect my performance, which I hate making excuses, and I honestly even hate talking about things that go wrong because it's like, who really cares? But I do want to just say it because it's the reality of competing. Things don't always go as planned, and you know, sometimes people relate because they have similar things going on when they're in competition prep, and then their performance doesn't go as well as they thought. Oh, also before I get into that, I did end up traveling during my peaking block, which did not affect my performance at all, which was great. I went to Panama City, Florida and Salt Lake City, Utah. I was able to find really good gyms to train at in both locations, which was great. But anyways, just starting with my squats. My squats this entire peaking block went amazingly. Every single squat session, I kid you not, I don't think this has ever happened. Every single goal I planned on hitting went exactly according to plan. My entire off season, like the entire 9 months, the entire peaking block, and my entire off season was incredibly healthy. So that's why this is really weird and strange this happened. But you know, you can't really control the factors that, you know, life hands you. But on one of my back offsets, this was at, I believe, 2 or 3 weeks out. I think it was 2 weeks out, actually. I shifted my hips on a really light back offset of squats, and I was able to still get through the squat session. My squats did not get affected at all, but my back was in a lot of pain to where I could not execute the rest of my peaking block on deadlifts according to plan. And I was in pain, like, literally up until, I want to say 5 days out from competing. So that did affect my performance. I'm not going to lie, and I'm not going to just make excuses about it either. But that was one thing that did not go according to plan. And it was a bummer because my off-season deadlift progress was so good. And it's unfortunate that it did not show up on the platform. But I still feel really proud of myself for giving it my all, no matter what. And then bench, I was pleasantly surprised with how I went. I'll recap how it went and everything in after I show all the videos. But my off season was not good. That was the only lift that did not go well this off season was bench. But I had a really good platform performance. Overall, I really enjoyed the meet. It was definitely a learning experience, and I'm excited to recap it. It is weigh-in day, and I am very dehydrated, not hungry, because I have not dieted at all into this powerlifting competition, but I'm not going to drink any water until after weigh-in, so very excited for that to happen. I'll update you on all the other weigh-in festivities in the next segment. So another thing about being 2 days out from competing is you need to prepare all your equipment the night before in advance so you don't be all frazzled, scrambling around last minute in the morning. So everyone has to wear a singlet on the platform. Singlet is worn for every single lift. The cotton shirt, it has to be cotton. I think it could be like partially polyester, but you have to double check with your federation to make sure, because there was one time I had a shirt and it was not approved. But yes, you have to wear the shirt for squat and bench. Deadlifts is optional. And then you have to have full length socks for deadlifts. I believe you can wear calf or full length for bench, but I always wear full length for bench. And then ankle socks have to be worn for, or calf socks have to be worn for squat. And then I have like backup shirts and singlets. You never know what's gonna happen. And then I'll show you all the contents of my gym bag in the next segment. Welcome to the contents of my gym bag. So we have Converse, which I wear for bench and for deadlifts. And then my lifting belt, it's an Inzer lifting belt. I have my wrist wraps, SPD wrist wraps. My knee sleeves are strong knee sleeves. You have to make sure that all your equipment is approved based on the federation that you're in. Also have my tripod, obviously that doesn't need to be checked. Pre-workout bottles. Ibuprofen is a must because you never know when something's gonna tighten up or flare up. On competition day, obviously the band and the straps can't be used on the platform, but that's still in my gym bag. And then we have my squat shoes over in this compartment if I could get it open. I'm also super dehydrated. I need to drink water after my walk. I'm always very hydrated, don't worry. Yes, those are my heeled squat shoes. But yes, that is my gym bag, right, Pretzel? Ah, you're so beautiful. So this is my 12th powerlifting competition prep, and I am so excited, and I'm gonna hit some goals that seemed very, very, very unattainable for myself when I first started out in powerlifting back in 2017. When I first started, I was squatting 192, benching 121, deadlifting 303, and now I'm gonna be going for 259, maybe even 264 on squat. 170 on bench and 385 on deadlift. So I've come a long way. It's a very, very momentous meet with a weird feeling to it because although this is not goodbye to powerlifting for me, it is the start of a different era, which is the start of thinking about starting a family. So I'm going to be shifting my training a little bit because obviously I'm not going to be competing in powerlifting competitions and building my strength while I'm pregnant. So I am still going to be very, very fit and healthy and active during pregnancy, and I'm actually really excited for this new challenge because yes, I can always come back to powerlifting whenever. And a really cool thing about powerlifting is most people do not even peak in their 20s like most sports. I am 29, I just turned 29. Most people in powerlifting peak in their 30s, if not their 40s, which is really, really cool and inspiring to see. And that will just be even more cool and inspiring to be able to compete and have children to bring to competitions and all that. So yeah, I'm really excited for this next chapter of my fitness journey. Obviously, I will not be showing this clip until I'm actually physically with child, but I figured I would get this out there right now as I am 2 days out from competing. Very, very excited. Feel like all the more reason why I need to give it my all. Because this is the last time I'm going to be on the platform for, at least, it takes 9 months to grow a baby, so, and then you got to build back up after that, so probably 1.5 to 2 years, so yeah, we'll see.
That's 3 whites for Rachel, ladies and gentlemen.
What?
Three whites for Rachel.
All right, we are now officially back into present day. This video has been a lot. I've basically been covering the last 20 weeks, which is my peaking block, into my powerlifting prep, into now being 15 weeks pregnant, which I'll talk about that more in future videos, but I'll talk about a little bit at the end of this video. But this video, the main topic is my powerlifting competition. So I'm going to talk about my goals in terms of how I actually did, in terms of my performance. So I'm going to do a very, very quick rundown. So squats went amazingly, which was in line with how my squats have been going this off season. My biggest goal for this competition was to hit a really, really big squat PR, because I have not hit a squat PR in a very long time. And my squat PRs are very hard to come by. I work really, really hard. I'm always giving it my all. I made a lot of technique changes this off season, and things have just been clicking. So I was really happy that I went for 3 for 3 on squats, and I had a 16.5 kg, not kg, that would be crazy, 16.5 pound PR, 7.5 kg PR, which was awesome. So I went from 242 at my last meet up to 259 at this meet. So I was super pumped about that. And then I was also on pace for my overall second goal, which was to hit an elite total, which I did come a little bit shy of, but it's okay. I still know that I have it in me, and I will get it once I'm postpartum. But anyways, on to bench. So bench was my most strugglesome lift the entire off season. I was hoping for 170, which I've been able to bench 165 in competition since December 2022. So it should not have been a stretch for me to hit 170. However, for whatever reason, my bench has just stalled out. I did end up having to make a technique change on the platform, which I was changing my touch point. So I lowered my touch point closer to my chest on my third attempt, and it actually did work a lot better. So before I got pregnant, I did end up working that touch point for 4 weeks until I found out that I was pregnant, and it went really well. So I feel like it's going to be promising to get to work that touch point once I'm back to competing come end 20, more realistically, end of 2025. But I went 3 for 3 on bench. That was still really good, but I knew that I was going to be 2.5 kg under the elite total, even if I did end up hitting my high reaching deadlift goal. So I was feeling a little bit bummed about that, but overall I was stressed out because in the bench warm-up area I had to rush my warm-ups. It was like a crazy fast-paced meet. It was at an expo center, and there were only 9 lifters in my flight, and the flights were going really, really fast. And in the flight before, which you're not allowed to go into the warm-up area until the lifters in the previous flight are done, and so I wasn't able to go into the warm-up area, and then we were only able to use one bench, and so it was like sharing the one bench with all the lifters that were on the platform. So I ended up changing my opener last minute. I was supposed to open with 160, but I opened with 154, so then I was able to take those even jumps up to 165 and go 3 for 3. Anyways, I feel like I'm rambling. So overall, so far I was feeling pretty optimistic about my goals. I had got a huge squat PR, and I had tied my bench PR. I wasn't really expecting much out of bench anyways, and I was feeling honestly exhausted though at this point. And also in the back of my mind, I was like, this is a bittersweet feeling. You know, this is gonna be my last powerlifting competition for at least a year, probably more like a year and a half, because of, you know, hoping to get pregnant soon. And so then I had a little bit of time to rest. And by the time deadlifts rolled around, I was exhausted, but I was like, you know what, I'm still gonna give everything that I have to make this happen. So I hit my opener. It was at 341, moved really easily. I didn't think anything of it. I was still feeling good. And then I hit my second attempt at 363, and it felt really easy. It was only 2.5 kg under my all-time PR of 369, and I felt good. I was going to originally go for 385, and I called 381, but for some reason my husband thought I said 375. So then he gave 375 to the judges. And then as I was getting ready to do my third attempt deadlift, and I'm not making excuses or anything, but I was looking at the bar and I was like, that is 375. So then I was thinking in my head, did they load the bar wrong? Is it 381 loaded on the other side? And then on this side, it's only 375. And then I was getting all in my head. So there was definitely a disconnect mentally where I doubted myself. And I think that's why I missed that pull, but it was a grind. It was the grind of my life. It was only 375. I grinded it for about 10, maybe even 15 seconds. It was insane. I still felt proud of myself because, you know I have it. I was just really fatigued and exhausted. And if I was gonna miss a lift, my deadlift has been going well for years and years, so I would rather miss that then missed my squat. So I felt pretty good about it. I got 788 overall, which was still, I think, a 22-pound overall total PR. But yeah, this is not the end of powerlifting for me. I'm really excited to keep pursuing that. I am still able to squat, bench, and deadlift during pregnancy, but the goals and focuses have changed a lot. How I breathe with the movements is the biggest shift, because you don't want to create a lot of intra-abdominal pressure when you're breathing during the lifts, but I'll go into all of that in future videos. There are a lot of changes that I've had to make, but overall I'm still able to lift and still able to be healthy and strong, and I've been feeling great, and I've been loving the change of pace. So I'm gonna be back on my YouTube game. Every Wednesday I will post a new video throughout my pregnancy, so I'm really excited. Looking forward to documenting all that, and even though the competition didn't go exactly as planned, I still feel proud of myself, and I know I gave it my all, so that's what counts the most. But yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.